Yo, what's good? What's up, everyone? This is the second trading week. I only had one trade this week because there weren't that many opportunities for me. But me being me, quality over quantity all day. But anyways, let's get straight into this trade. So, as you guys can see, there's this price action here. By the way, is very beautiful. Like anybody that's a trader knows that this is very like this price action is very clear, very it's very nice. It's very clear and easy. All right. So right here, we've got equal highs straight away, big probability, high probability. Okay, equal low, equal highs, and right above those equal highs, a fair value gap on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so basically, higher time frame analysis or higher time frame um resistance levels is backing me, right? So we've got equal highs and we've got a fair value gap. Now, obviously, I'm looking to sell. Okay, I was waiting for price to take these highs out, mitigate this fair value gap, and then form a market structure shift to the downside. Very simple, right? Now, on the 5 minute time frame, price has taken those highs out. Now, what I did not like about this trade is everything was perfect, right? Price action was very good, and it looked like a very high probability setup. The only thing that I did not like is that it didn't mitigate or it didn't fully mitigate this fair value gap. It just took those equal highs out and then started to reject a little. Now, when I see stuff like this and I see the right market structure shift, I still enter. But for me, it's just like even more higher probability if it mitigates the fair value gap. But in this case, it didn't do it, but I still entered the trade. Once price closed below this low, I was looking back here for a fair value gap. All right. On the 5 minute time frame, I didn't see anything. So hopped onto the 3 minute time frame. I didn't see anything either. But on the 1 minute time frame, what do we see here? A fair value gap. So I put my limit here. And yeah, I was basically just waiting for price to come back so it can eventually reach my target. So as you guys see, the trade moved very well, moved very nicely. I targeted this fair value gap on the 1 hour time frame because the trend was actually bullish. So I was for me this was just a retracement, right? So I didn't want to be in the trade for too long. I didn't want to target any lows or anything like that. I just targeted this fair value gap, which was basically just a retracement. But unfortunately, price didn't trigger my limit. So I basically missed this trade. So instead of coming back to my fair value gap, price just went on and on and on and on and on and on. This right here is already, I think it was around 30 pips maybe. Yeah, it was already around 30 pips, but price didn't trigger my limit. And when it did trigger my limit, when it came back, it went all the way down to my target. But at this time of day, I don't trade. This is outside of my trading times. So I didn't take the trade. I missed it. And yeah, that's the reality of trading. You can have the perfect setup. You can know what's going to happen days before it even happens. But if the market does what the market wants to do, then you can end up missing your trades or getting stopped out. But in this case, obviously missing the trade. But it's all right. It's no problem because this opportunity or these opportunities are gonna keep on coming. Now, this aggressive bearish run, there was some news events involved here, which is also why I didn't want to enter later on. But I wouldn't have entered anyway because I was outside of my trading time, right? So yeah, man, that was meant to be the first trade. I missed it obviously, but there was another trade that I did take. All right, so after I missed the first trade, I actually took the next trade the day after. So for the first trade, I was obviously waiting for price or looking for price to reach this fair value gap, form a market structure shift, and then target one of these. Yeah, target this fair value gap here, right? This 1 hour fair value gap. But I missed the trade. Now the next day, price finally reached the fair value gap on the 4 hour time frame. All right. Now, when I saw this, I was a little confused, and I'm gonna show you why. So after reaching this 5 weekly gap, when I hopped onto the charts, price was already here, and that's not something that I like to see. That's why I was kind of confused. When I hop on the charts, I like for price to be going into that direction so I can see it live, or I could wait for it and anticipate the move. But in this case, when I hopped onto the charts, it was already at the fair value gap. It already filled it in, and it was basically, this is where price basically was. And I was basically confused. I didn't know what to do. Now, I had these voices in my head. One was saying, let the trade go, it's not valid. The other one was wait for an impulse kind of to the downside and enter the fair value gap. I was confused. But as I was watching price live, I saw some very aggressive bearish movement. These candles are showing momentum, right? So what I did is when price was here, I basically put a limit on this fair value gap because I thought, right, it rebalanced this fair value gap and now it's showing movement that it wants to go to the downside. So I thought there's no way it can go back up. So I put my limit here and I targeted this 1 hour fair value gap because once again the trend was still bullish and I don't want to be treated against the trend and having these overzealous TPs, right? So just simple TPs. This was meant to be a retracement. I just wanted to participate into the. I just wanted to participate on the retracement. Now, after paying my limit, I saw price coming back, hoping that it would just take me in and then continue to go down, right? But price, it came into my fair value gap and it took my SL out and it took this high out and it basically went all wrong. It basically went all wrong. And yeah, man, I made a lot of loss. And this loss, to be honest, was like, this is even my trading plan. Cause yeah, I should have, because there was no high taken out. There was no fair value gap rebalance in my trading time. It happened before my trading time. So obviously it could have went down. It could have hit my TP, but really and truly it wouldn't have been a valid win, let's say, because it wouldn't be me following my plan. Now, what I found very funny, and I'm actually happy that I made this loss because I learned something very big, is when I put my limit, price immediately started to rally, but it didn't just rally; it took out this high, and after taking this high out, it immediately started to obviously pushed toward the downside, even hit my TP and went down even more. So what I actually learned was if we're looking for sales or if I'm looking for sales, there needs to be a high taken out or a fair value gap rebalance in my trading time or in my kill zone. All right. Because this right here, this run is what I really should have been waiting for. This bearish movement here, I should have been like, nothing happened, right? There was no fair value gap rebalance. There was no high taken out. I can't do anything. It's not in my trading plan. It's not my trading edge. But seeing this movement here, this actually makes sense for me now. I should have waited for. I should have either just not participated. I should have just waited for a high to get taken out, and then a market structure shift to get formed. And that's actually what happened. Price obviously came back, took this high out, formed a market structure shift, came back, and then obviously um took all of this liquidity with it. So yeah, man, another loss. I think we've made like 4 consecutive losses now in the month of January, but we're only, I think it was 1.5k in drawdown. So I'm managing risk. I'm managing risk. But yeah, man, it was a deserved loss. I'm happy that I made a loss because I learned something that I'm gonna consider the next time. And yeah, man, I only took this one trade. The first trade I missed it, but it's calm. It's still gonna come back. All I need is one trade. All right, my RRs are very nice, so I just need one trade, and we're back into business. All right. But anyways, guys, I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you guys the next trading week. You'll see if we manage to break out of the losing cycle. Peace.